And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So thank you again for joining us. We appreciate your time. This is our ProLink HFA webinar series. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of an effective customer success program. Really, we're focusing on our customer support model. So if you've been joining our webinar series over the last several months, you have seen us talk about our customer success model since February, also talking about adoption and how to handle, that evolution from an initial implementation effort for a system like ProLink HFA, and then working towards continuous adoption initiatives post go live. So after you're using ProLink HFA, I really do like to take the first few months of this webinar series at the start of the year to reflect on those kinds of topics. We're all, getting into fulfilling our business plans for the year and executing those plans. And so having some time to really consider roadmap priorities and how to administer and oversee a system like ProLink HFA to continue to bring business value to your organization, I think is very important, and it will help provide ProLink with the opportunity to be the best partner we can be to our clients. So thank you for participating over the last several months. This is going to be kind of the last session that we host focused around customer success and customer support. And then we'll announce our next webinar at the end of today's session, which will start to focus more on business cases and system demos, so a little bit more technical starting in our May webinar. So for today, I'll cover general information and then we'll start our business presentation, which is going to be me and Jessica, who's with me. I'm about to introduce her, presenting our monthly business review meetings and what that is, our user group, NAHMA XML standards, the work center, and kind of what that group does for us, and then our customer support model. So I'm Bree Kreuter. I'm the Executive Vice President for ProLink. Many of you who are involved in administering ProLink HFA for your organization, you know me well. Jessica Britton is also very well known as our customer support lead for our HFA clients. So if you're putting in a Zendesk ticket, you're likely to hear from Jessica first on those things. So thank you, Jessica, for being with me today to cover this topic. So about ProLink, we have, for those who might be tuning in and new to ProLink, we have been serving the affordable housing industry for over 20 years. We support what we consider the three pillars of affordable housing, the affordable housing industry, which includes our state and local housing finance agencies. That's our largest group of clients. We also support tax credit syndicators and investors in affordable, as well as developers, and really some owner agents as well that we're supporting through more of the compliance requirements to the state agencies. So our work consists, really, our goal is to build systems that holistically support the full deal life cycle for affordable LIHTC programs. So from that the origination stage through bond allocation, asset management, and compliance monitoring. And then we do have a system also that you might know us by, which is ProLink Plus, and that's our emergency fund deployment system that we used for the HAF program. So our team, we're made up of technologists. We're a software firm, but certainly over a couple decades now supporting the affordable industry, we have a lot of expertise in-house. Affordable is all that we do, so it's our main focus, and our people are very passionate about the mission of bringing affordable housing and bringing more of it to the United States and creating more of it for those who need it. So this is just some metrics and information about our client base. We support 17 state housing finance agencies currently, as well as 2 supportive services agencies. We have 5 syndicator and investor clients. We have a very strong partnership with NCSHA. We're a sponsor at many of their conferences, and they've been speakers for years at our conferences. And we are members of the NAHMA XML standards group, which is the standardized format of XML that is generated from property management tools. So we kind of work as a lobbyist on behalf of our state agency clients to ensure that regulatory requirements that might change over the years, that the fields required to track that information are available in property management systems, and that information can really be, generated out of those property management systems. So it's kind of a collaborative effort between many different technology partners in the affordable industry across different, sectors of the industry, working together to make sure we can talk to each other and get that information from one party to the next. So we'll talk a little bit more about that down a little bit later in this webinar series. We also have really kicked up our industry education, kind of our presence in doing so, virtually, especially with hosting this HFA webinar series, which we do monthly. We started a few years ago. I think 2020 was kind of the kickoff to that one virtually. And then we started also hosting a Procorem webinar series focused on training. A lot of what we try to do on Procorem is help owner agents and developers understand that collaborative platform and feel supported in the requirements that they have to kind of walk through and submit information through Procorem to the state agencies they might be working with. We host a conference every year in the fall called ProLink Technology Live. It's our annual user training conference, and that's open to anyone who wants to participate. So even if you're not a ProLink user, you're welcome to join that. And it's, very intimate training experience for all users to really get hands-on and first, training from us directly. And then finally, we're getting back to hosting our in-person user conference this year. I'm so excited. Towards the end of this month, the week of April 22nd, we're hosting an in-person conference. So excited to see most of our clients, representatives from most of our clients join us from our HFA group. And that is really a conference to facilitate more of a strategic conversation and setting for our kind of super user group around ProLinkHFA. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to have some advanced trainings built in. We're going to have some problem solving sessions, some brainstorming. We're going to be talking about user group feature enhancements and our approach to those things. And it's just going to be a really exciting and fun event. So if you're coming, yay, I'm so excited to see you. And please be aware, this will be an annual thing. So if you're not coming this year and it's something that you think would be good for you to attend next year, we'll probably be hosting this conference in April next year as well. Lastly, we have our our technology leadership kind of partnerships that we hold. So ProLink or Amazon Web Services, all of our platforms are cloud-based platforms and supported through AWS. So we use a lot of AWS tools to support our systems. And when we're building kind of new features that might need those tools, including reporting tools, we look to AWS first to see if they might, kind of have that best-in-class support that we can take advantage of for our products. We also have some integrations with DocuSign on ProLink Plus, and so it's always nice when we can use that best-in-class sort of technology that's already out there to enhance what we're building for the affordable housing industry. This graphic just shows kind of across the country those 19 agencies that we're supporting. So just another visual of your neighbors and those who will be joining us for our user conference coming up at the end of this month. And here is our slide that really kind of lays out the ProLink platform. So you can see We call it our technology stack because ProLink HFA is broken down into three main technical components. We have ProLink HFA, which is our database system, our back office system where our clients are working every day, kind of logging in there. And then we have Procorem, which is our front office portal, our collaborative portal. It's cloud-based as well, multi-tenanted, so different from your database. You know, we have accounts established for each one of our clients, and then they invite their partners into their accounts on Procorem to collaborate and kind of work through those business processes together. And that's where you'll see your developers, your contractors, your property managers logging in to do that work. And the third component is Smart Docs, which is an Excel and Word add-in tool. It's proprietary to ProLink, and it helps our clients to kind of mitigate the amount of manual data entry and transferring of data that you might receive from external parties by using, you know, a mapping tool to pull that information directly into ProLink HFA and pull it out. So between those three pieces, we support our HFA clients. And this graphic just shows the main modules that make up ProLink HFA. So this is kind of our standard-based product that we offer with our multifamily development and bond financing module in the orange. We then have our asset management and compliance module, and then our single-family development module. We have some additional kind of features that we have listed over on the left, including supportive services, REO, and Budget Pro, which is a construction draw management tool that we offer as well. Okay, so now we're going to get into our business presentation for today. And the first piece that I wanted to cover is what we call our monthly business review meetings, or our MBRs. So after you've gone through your implementation of ProLink HFA and you're a live customer, and your staff is using their, you know, designated pieces of ProLink HFA to run their departments, we still continue to meet with you, ideally monthly. And I think I'm pretty much every one of our clients I meet with personally, I'm on those meetings and I run those meetings monthly. And the purpose for hosting that meeting is really, it's kind of like the family dinner. We all sit down, and that's our touch point to talk about, you know, what happened that day. Well, for us, it's our touch point to talk about what has happened that month and what's coming up, and do we have everything handled? So we'll talk about releases, recent and upcoming. Obviously, those are also sent out virtually through appointment reminders and announcements like that. But we talk about those things face to face in that meeting. We talk about webinars and just kind of special announcements like our user conference coming up. We'll go over any change requests or action items. So things where it's, you know, like I really need to know more about this function of ProLink HFA. I might take that back and investigate that with our professional services team and come back with more information in the monthly business review meeting. It's a chance for our clients to, you know, we can read emails and we can read tickets, but sometimes there's things that get lost in translation or are better communicated in person. And so it's a chance for us to meet on any escalation needs, requests or grievances, experiences that we've had on either side. We can go over tickets. A lot of times we'll use the balance of whatever is left in the meeting to just kind of do a ticket housekeeping during that meeting. And then any software adoption follow-ups are really kind of like exploring the roadmap. So we might have all these things happening today and this month, but I really love at the end of the day to use that monthly business review to bring us back to kind of that initial business value and purpose of what ProLink HFA should be doing for your organization, what value you're looking for out of the system, Are we on our way to achieving those goals? Have we met those goals? Do those goals need to change? And so we really try to focus that meeting on exploring the immediate needs, of course, the needs of that, year or quarter or whatever that shorter term window is, and then looking out really into the future, next year, the year after that, what the initiatives should be, what our roadmap, collaborative roadmap should be to ensure that you are getting the best return on using ProLink HFA, and that we're able to evolve with the staff needs of your agency over time. So it's a lot to kind of cover, and because of that, meeting regularly on a monthly basis helps us do that over time and really kind of builds and evolves. This opportunity, this meeting also kind of inherently provides the opportunity for staff and department inclusion. So in many cases, we'll see, certain departments maybe start or adopt ProLink HFA more than other departments to kick off with. Maybe asset management was like highest priority during your implementation, and then origination development teams might be coming in a little bit later. The MBR offers like the opportunity to kind of still engage some of those other groups that might be on a different timeline for adoption and keep them involved in kind of hearing the evolution of what's happening between the other departments and what might be of value to them. It keeps that conversation going and in front of them, which I think is important for adoption. So an area also, one of the things I like to do through the MBR is share across clients. So I'll have times when we're asked to explore maybe a feature enhancement or support a new business need, and we'll be asked, can you ask if any other states have experienced this? Or what is everybody else planning to do for AIT? Or what's everybody else planning to do for the Nspire, or sorry, the Nspire inspections and those kinds of changes. So we can kind of do a little bit of socializing of common business needs across those meetings. The people who should attend those and who we do recommend attend those are our champions. So typically when you go through an implementation, if some of our clients have been with us for a long time, and we might not even remember who was involved in the initial implementation at this point. But for those who recently kind of went through an implementation over the last year to 5 years, a lot of times the people who are involved in these meetings were the champions during your implementation. So kind of those leaders in the implementation. So we often see them involved in this meeting. Program managers, department directors, subject matter experts as well will attend that session. And then so user group is another thing that I just wanted to kind of, with our user group conference coming up, I wanted to just define and make sure that we kind of reaffirm the mission of that group. So we see that group is an area facilitating a place for free and equal exchange of ideas, experiences, and information within the HFA community. So it's really a collaborative group where new features can be discussed, business needs can be discussed. We do, as a reminder, ProLink, we have a budget for our roadmap product enhancements or feature enhancements. Every year we put money into the product. We appropriate a portion of our budget for feature enhancements. We appropriate that to user group, and we allow our clients to vote on those features that they would most like to see, brought into the product that year with that budget. So, we have, let's say, I don't know what it is actually, but let's say we have $1 million to put into ProLinkHFA feature enhancements. Let's say 250,000 or something would be designated to user group to vote in for new features. And it is around that amount. It amounts to about 30% of our subscription fees across our clients goes towards funding new features annually through the user group voting process. So while it is funded by ProLink, we get a lot of, participation from our users in making those decisions. And then we like to match up, kind of marry the balance, the remaining 800,000 or whatever we might have left for feature enhancements. We like to align that with the priorities of the user group to get the most out of our roadmap every year and out of the enhancements we can make and kind of afford for that year. So obviously that's very powerful over time and really annually, but especially like as our clients have evolved, we've been able to evolve the system, ProLinkHFA, with our clients based off of that participation. So thank you for actively being involved in that voting process and providing feature ideas to ProLink through the user group. Defining enhancements priorities is really covered by that. We also have the opportunity to kind of talk about upcoming risks, or I guess we should more lovingly say changes, regulatory enhancements that might be coming up. It's a chance to talk about those preemptively so that we're prepared. And really, I think the user group offers, ProLinkHFA is a large application. We've had no agency, while you guys we're all in the kind of focused on the same goal. Everyone kind of handles their business differently. And so there's many ways to do things in ProLinkHFA. And I think one of the real benefits of the user group is to gain consensus across the group on business best practice, and then make the decisions around feature enhancements or using existing functionality to best support business best practice. So those are the things that we try to do through the user group process. Again, looking forward to the conference in a few weeks, which will be a perfect example of what we're trying to accomplish here with that group. And just so we know, here's a quick little picture of the logos for the agencies who are active voting members of our user group. So all of our clients are members, but only our live in production clients are voting members. So we will see a few new voting members coming up here with Chicago and Maryland upon them going live. Okay, and then for NAHMA, so for those who might be involved or with the NAHMA XML process, you're involved on the compliance side, and maybe you've even attended some of these NAHMA XML meetings. I just wanted to give an update. We did this last year for the same session. So we we host the NAHMA XML standards group on Procorem. That's where we facilitate that committee. We have 109 current members. We're currently on version 7 of NAHMA. So again, this is the standard XML kind of committee that discusses changes that are required to be made both by the vendors who support our state agencies, but also by the vendors who support owner agents with property management tools. So we facilitate that through Procorem. We're actively involved in that, and it's a coordination effort to really get those changes made over time. So certainly if you see any issues or concerns or needs for changes in the NAHMA XML standard, submitting that to us, to me through that MBR is a great opportunity, again, to kind of pull that into this committee as timely as possible to get those changes made and kind of bought into for the next version of NAHMA. I am not aware. I was hoping to get like an update on the next version of NAHMA when that might occur. I did not get that information from the group ahead of this meeting. So I'm not sure if it has been announced yet. Okay. And then my last slide before I hand it over to Jessica to share more of our results and metrics on customer support is I did really kind of want to break down our customer support model. So this is all kind of within what I would consider our customer success program, which includes like our monthly business reviews, those meetings I discussed. Our user group would be part of customer success. And then we have our customer support model, which includes, 3 different things. And I look at this as like if you imagine filling a mason jar up with the kind of gray blue color that customer support is under on this slide. Those are, a bead of that gray blue color, and you're filling that about halfway up there. Then the bright blue is our help center, and you throw beads in bright blue into that mason jar, and then you fill it with water, which would be like the ProLink Academy, kind of filling in all those crevices. That's kind of my visual that I think of when it comes to customer support. So, so on the support side, we have really that's kind of our Zendesk. That's our end user Q&A. Ticket management happens within our customer support world. Escalation to our other groups like professional services and product teams for changes or services needed by our clients happens through that avenue. Resolution follow-up, NAHMA XML standard group updates or requests for changes happens through there. And then we also provide a lot of support to our clients, kind of like if it's under 2 hours, we try to help you as best we can. And so even if it's something that typically, training or refreshers that would be considered a professional service that would be paid for, if it's under 2 hours, we're usually handling it as part of our support. And that's just covered. So for our help center, which is you can access our help center through that little question mark icon within all of our applications. That's where you're going to get product suite specific help content, right? So if you're in ProLinkHFA, you're navigating to the ProLinkHFA Help Center. If you're in Procorem and you click that question mark, you're going to navigate to your Procorem Help Center. That's going to cover system functionality, so explanations on what those different pieces of functionality do. And it will include our release notes for new features. So every time we run a release, which is on a quarterly basis, those release notes are available. And we've recently started to embed training videos into our help center as well, which I'm really excited about. And we're going to continue to build on that, releasing and connecting those training videos to the relevant content in our help center. So lastly, that academy, which is the water filling in all the crevices of our customer support. That's where you get this webinar series, quarterly virtual user group trainings that we host, our YouTube training playlists. So we have a lot of historic trainings that we've either put out across our clients or even for specific clients, and it's relevant to our entire client group, like Smart Docs 101, those kinds of things you can find out through our YouTube channels and playlists. We have our quarterly product newsletter that we put out, which is focused more on kind of big headliners from our releases. Then we have our monthly newsletter and blog, which is more business focused, business case, industry focused. We have our annual in-person conference coming up at the end of this month. We have our annual virtual user training that we do, ProLink Tech Live. So that's kind of the things that fill in and really make up our customer success. So for the rest of the time today, I have invited Jessica to just join us. Last year, this same session, we did share some metrics on our customer support. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to kind of get a refresher on how that process works so that you kind of know what to expect when submitting a ticket to ProLink, what kind of response you're getting, and what our process is to support our clients, how we're measuring ourselves against that. So Jessica, I'll let you take it to the next few slides.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So this slide is mostly talking about our life cycle of a support ticket. So kind of what happens once you enter those support tickets with us through that Zendesk portal. So there's multiple ways to enter a support ticket. The most common one is utilizing that email address that's shown there, support@prolinkSolutions.com, and that will create a ticket that gets sent to us. At that point, we will try to troubleshoot it. We may ask some follow-up questions to verify what might be going on. And from there, we're able to log that ticket internally so that we can review it with our professional services team or our product and development team. As you can see there, at that point, it will kind of go in two different directions. So either to our professional services team, and they take care of like the training requests, they take care of things like if you need to finalize compliance reviews, things like that. So things that are like quick, easy resolutions. And then there's also the route that goes to our product and development team. Now, those are things that are bugs in the system or things that would require a code change. And one of the things that's really important for that route specifically is prioritizing those tickets and making sure that we're getting the knowledge to know whether it's a high priority item for our clients or a lower priority item, so we can make sure that we're resolving those issues in a timely manner. And all of that then leads to our overall resolution. And then the next slide coming up here, we'll talk about how we prioritize those tickets. So as I noted during that life cycle of a support ticket, prioritization is an integral part of the process to make sure we're able to resolve those tickets in a timely manner. So I did give a couple of examples here of what would be a high priority item, but we didn't have the necessary items to kind of get it resolved quickly. And then what would possibly be like a high priority item or a medium priority item, but we did get all the items necessary. So this example on the left came in and the ticket just simply said, I just tried to click on the 10 events section of 2 separate properties and received the following error. And that was the entire contents of the ticket. So for us to kind of really look into this and really troubleshoot and verify what's going on, there's a few things missing here. So specifically, what client is this connected to? Sometimes we're able to tell based on the email that comes in, but in some cases we're not. And so knowing what client, if it's New York, if it's Rhode Island, if it's Maryland, whatever, making sure we're able to connect that so we can go and troubleshoot those issues. What 2 properties were receiving that error? As you can see, that's not noted here in the ticket, so we can't tell where we should really be looking to verify this issue, and if there's any additional individuals who are receiving this error as well. Knowing how many people might be seeing or receiving this error really does help us in prioritizing. The option on the right did give us a lot more information. So it came in, gave us the they're trying to add a specific collaborator to a work center and they're getting an error. They gave us the property name as well as a screenshot that does include the web address. The web address can help us tell what client it's connected to, things like that. So this one does give us a lot more information, so we can go into the system, we can quickly troubleshoot and reproduce the error and get that over to our product and development team to resolve it quickly. I will note the one thing that did miss a bit of was the number of people affected, but in this case, we were still able to go and reproduce the issue and get it to our product and development team. Go to the next slide. And so then it comes to our ticket closure process. So at the time when our product and development team or our professional services team has deemed the issue resolved, customer support will go ahead and send that resolution to the client, letting them know it has been resolved. At that point, the client does have a 2-week period to review that resolution. So that allows, and that's 10 business days overall. So during that 10 business days, we allow for at least 5 days from the beginning to kind of allow the client to review the resolution, test it out, see if they're still seeing the error. And if we don't receive a response in that first 5 days, we'll send just a follow-up message letting them know like, hey, we haven't received a response on this. Are you still seeing this error? Are we okay to close this ticket? And then we will allow another 5 days to go by at that point. And then if we still haven't received a response, we'll respond again to that ticket, letting you know, like, we just haven't received a response from you on this. We are going to go ahead and close the support ticket. If you do still see this issue in your system, please respond to this ticket. You have, I believe, 3 days from the time it's closed to respond and reopen, or you can always open a new support ticket with us and we will get right back on that issue at that time. And so this is going over our support metrics for the entire year of 2023. As you can see here, we did have 2843 when it comes to created tickets, and we were able to solve over the year 2,747 of those. In that time, 53% were a one-touch ticket, meaning we were able to resolve that issue with a singular response to the client. That was a really great metric for us. We were able to respond to quite a bit of issues quickly and in a timely manner. And you can see that our first reply time on an average was about 36 minutes. So we are getting those first responses out pretty quickly in that time. Go to the next slide. And then here is just kind of a year over year from 2023 to 2024. They're both from the time period of January 1st through March 31st. So as you can probably notice, there is a big difference between the created tickets from 2023 and compared to 2024. We did do a lot of changes over the last year to make sure that the tickets that we're seeing in our metrics are actual tickets that are coming from our clients and our customers to resolve support issues. So we have removed issues that were coming through our internal teams as well as through our IT teams. So we are seeing just a vast smaller difference here with only 696 tickets so far created this year. Another thing you'll notice is that last year we weren't as much tracking our resolution time, whereas this year we are fully tracking that, and we want to make sure that we're meeting our industry standards of 75 to 80%, as well as 75 hours overall. And so that's something we're really honing in on for this next year to really get down to that 75 hours and a 75 to 80% solve rate overall. We're currently at 69%, so we're very, very, very close. So we're really positive that we're going to be able to meet that 75 to 80% solve rate by the end of the year. And we're just going to keep working towards that to meet the industry standard in the tech sector.
Yeah, and I guess what I would say also, which is interesting, kind of looking at this, and I think this is a great opportunity. I mean, I don't know of anybody, other software companies that are sharing their ticket metrics so publicly as ProLink. I'm really proud of our customer support group. And I think that one of the things that we're known for in this industry is our client support. So I'm happy to share this information publicly and show our progress and that we are paying attention to the attention we give our clients and the response that we give our clients. That's really what we're trying to share here. And one of the things that's interesting about looking at January through March particularly is that we're in compliance season through that time period. So typically we're seeing more complex tickets coming in. It takes a little bit longer potentially to what we consider solving is closing that ticket. So there might be some back and forth, as you can imagine, between us, the agency who might be involved, the owner agent who might be involved, to flesh out whatever might be going on, whether it's training required, a system need, or error. There's many different scenarios. So this is a very interesting kind of time slot to be measuring year over year, because it's typically the most, what would be the right word? The most kind of high volume that we see in our customer support function through the whole year. I mean, I think we get the most tickets and the most complex tickets during this first quarter because of compliance. So it'll be interesting to see the results as we kind of look back over the full year comparison. So thank you, Jessica, for putting that together.
Thank you.
Okay, and so just to kind of wrap up and bring closure, ProLink's aim is to offer community in general affordable housing industry value by sharing experiences, expert opinions, and reliable information to this industry. We always say, consider us an extension of your agency. Really try to consider us your partner here. We don't want a big kind of Chinese wall between us. We want to have a really healthy, transparent relationship with all of our clients, with all of our partnerships. And we're trying our best to put together a very robust customer success program to facilitate that relationship with you. So keep that in mind. Please provide feedback, reach out to me directly, and please have confidence in the systems we have in place, that we're measuring ourselves against our own, metrics from last year to this year, but we're also measuring ourselves against industry standards, not only for kind of our industry of affordable housing, but technology industry standards. So what's everybody else doing? What does a healthy customer support? What does a optimal customer support program look like? What should clients be experiencing? What is acceptable? What is not just acceptable, but optimal for our clients? So that's our goal. And we will continue to strive for that. So with the last couple minutes here, I did just want to announce our next webinar, which again is going to be kind of a shift in focus from the last few that we've hosted. We're going to be exploring collaboration between external partners using SmartDocs and Procorem. So that's going to be hosted by myself, but we'll have Jim Paris as our sales engineer. He's going to be demoing some of ProLinkHFA, and then we'll see about a client participate in that webinar with us. We'll stay tuned to see if we have an announcement on that, but that will regardless be our next topic. And we hope you can join us on May 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern time for that. I believe the link is shared in the chat now, so you should be able to register for that. And we will see you next time. We appreciate you today and have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Thank you.